You know how history tends to repeat itself? Well, as unfamiliar as these times are with COVID-19, this is far from the first global pandemic. Let's think back to the Spanish flu.
Spain was one of the few neutral countries in World War I. This means its media was able to report on the virus without the fear of wartime censorship. Since other nations were under this media blackout, they assumed the virus came from Spain since that is where it was being reported on. The Spanish, however, took to calling it the French flu, which is another misnomer since we are still unsure where the virus originated. There is a theory, however, that an American soldier contracted the disease at a U.S. base in Kansas. Dr. Susan Schulten explains how this incident possibly led to superspreading.
So once that person sought treatment, unfortunately, he sought treatment at a camp that was already mobilizing young men to be deployed overseas as the United States had entered the war alongside of the Allies. What you have there is a perfect recipe for spreading, what we now call super spreading, right? So Camp Funston becomes a node that infects men, both symptomatically but also asymptomatically. And those men are then spread to other camps around the US for deployment and also deployed overseas.
Both Allied and Central Powers nations hid death statistics during the war. They did this in order to focus the populace on the war rather than the virus. Many monumental people almost succumbed to the virus, including future President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, President Woodrow Wilson, and Walt Disney. The Spanish flu killed an estimated 50 million people, but that is all we know about it in the years that followed 1918. It wasn't until 79 years later, in 1997, when Dr. Johann Holton unearthed a sample of the virus from a frozen grave in Brevig Mission, Alaska.
With this sample, Dr. Jeremy Tautenberger and Dr. Ann Reed were finally able to sequence the genome of the deadliest flu in human history.